So I think that's a big deal, dude. Because by default, you think of negativity, you think of selfish. You know, like I need appointments, or it's not going to go as good as I think it's going to go. By default, it's just what we do. It's like we're in the high desert today. You guys drive down the street, you'll see weeds. There wasn't no gardener that stopped out. Was like, I'm gonna plant some weeds out right here. I'm gonna plant some weeds, put some thorns in them, just in case some helpless little child runs through this field. They can get a sticker in their foot. I'm gonna do that. That's what I want to do today. They don't do that. They just grow by default, and they're ugly. They don't look good, and them stickers do suck. They ain't good. You guys from the high desert, you know you want them stickers in your foot. But by design, you got to take them out, and you got to plant the good stuff, the stuff you actually do want to see, the stuff you want to look at, the results you want to visibly stare at. That's what you want. It's by design, by intention. So before you dial, like what I would do, Rudy, is I'd picture myself, because now I was calling leads that were years old. So I'd picture myself up on a sky rise. In all reality, I was sitting in my mom's garage on Thunderbird in Napa Valley, which if you want to have an appreciation drive that will build some gratitude in your heart, drive down Thunderbird. I give you the address where I was living. Thunderbird's in Felony Flats. Am I lying, James? Felony Flats. That's not the name of the city. It's Napa Valley. But it's called Felony Flats because of the amount of felonies that are committed there. So if you go through there, you got a good chance of being a part of a felony. Just on the wrong side of it. You don't go to jail. You just were a partaker in the person that received the felony. So that's where I was at. It's hard to think like business, which is why it's so important to come to this office. You step in here, you feel a little bit more of like a professional, right? Absolutely. I'm a business owner. I'm running a business. People, it's their benefit to meet with me because I care about them. I take pride in my position. I want to help people. It's just different. So I have to visualize myself kicked up on a sky rise, like on the 80th floor. I was sitting there, and my assistant, which I did not yet have, my fake one in my mind, walked in. She said, "Hey, we got these leads. They fell through the cracks. Nobody got a hold of them. Can you help them?" And I was like, "God, I guess." I take the leads, and that's how I visualize myself like that. So I was calling the request. I'd call him like that. Like, "Hey, Rudy, Paul here, getting back to you. One of the managers here with the Mortgage Protection Center. Listen, you probably don't remember this, Rudy. I'd be surprised if you did. But back when you financed a mortgage in 2009, you had filled out a request to protect your family in the event of a death or disability to make sure they were covered. Now, Rudy, listen, it seems like we had some families that fell through the cracks and didn't get the information they requested. So as a manager, I've been reassigned to make sure to get this taken care of for you. I just need to confirm some of the information and make sure it's still correct, okay?" Okay. And I would do it like that. Now, that doesn't sound like a telemarketer, and it didn't make me sound like I was desperate. I was controlled, I was poised, and I'm trying to sound like, dude, I got a million things going on. I'm really busy. I'm just getting back to you. Fell through the cracks. No, it's super important, so I made it a priority. That makes sense? If you call with that mindset, you're going to say things in which they need to be said, the way they need to be said, to get the result you want to get, which is the client responding as if they're thankful that you're finally getting back to them. So on one end, you call a client, and by the way, the CRM mortgage protections that they dumped in there, they're money. They are money. What are they, $2.50? Dean, have you been working those?
I didn't work those. I work age mortgage all the time, though.
You love them?
Oh, dude. Yeah.
So Dean wrote $40,000. He's been here for 2.5 weeks. He's working a bunch of age mortgage protection leads. So I love when Deans come on board because when somebody says, let me just tell you, these leads, it's like, well, I hear what you're saying, but the only thing I got to say is Dean has been here for 14 days and he wrote $40,000. Should we call Dean? What do we do? Is it leads or is it you? Or did Dean just pick right for the last 4 weeks straight? Do you want to call Dean and ask him when he clicks his button and what kind of computer he's got? Maybe it's a Mac. Maybe it's a Mac, the better leads go to Macs than the HPs. Maybe we should do the Mac lead purchase. You got a Mac? Because you go buy a Mac. Maybe let's do a Mac. He's like, what are we talking about here? So those leads are phenomenal, and they work. but you got to call it with the right posture. So one person calls it, they say the same words, but they're saying it in such a way that's, man, I need an appointment. And guess what you get? You get the response like, hey, we're not interested. Can you stop calling me? We're not interested. That's what you get. The other person gets, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you. That's what they get. It's not what they said as much as it was how they said it. Does that make sense, guys? It's how they said it.